Sino de Otome. So on this week of Sino de Otome, we're talking about animes that I actually greatly enjoyed, but since I enjoyed them, I can't really find a lot of flaws with them, and thus we're here. Today's theme is indie titles, since both of these animes are actually adaptations of an indie story. Now that I think about it, a good chunk of animes I actually liked are like that, Isekai, the genre that just keeps on giving for reasons that I refuse to acknowledge. The only solace to this is that from the looks of it, we're probably slowly but surely be entering the more modern deconstruction attempts at it, but honestly, not like that's good either. So, trapped in a dating sim, the world of Otome games is tough for mobs is a 12-episode Isekai anime that tells us a story of an anonymous. He's given the daunting task by his sister to play an Otome game to 100% completion because she wants to listen to the end music, forgetting that internet and YouTube exists. And so he completes the game in 3 days, even paying for DLC, and dies. And he gets reincarnated in the world of a game as a nobody named Leon Vorubarutoforto. Using his game knowledge, he finds the DLC locations, gets an AI companion, and thus his epic adventure begins. I'm gonna cut to the chase. The show was very enjoyable from start to finish. It's a great example of an isekai anime that there's a point to the hero being Japanese, even if personally I think it to be a bit flimsy. The character of Leon Vorubarutoforto and his inevitable harem are actually some of the best I've seen so far. Hell, Angie and Livia seem to be more into each other than into Leon, which besides the fan service is actually one of the better ways to show a functioning harem. The recurring antagonists, the princes, get enough attention to them so that they don't feel like just a bunch of dumb twats like in other isekai stories. It probably shouldn't be viewed as a tacit endorsement, however. It's just that many of these isekai stories don't even bother with that. I even like the comedy in this anime, though I'm not sure if it can be counted as comedy. Basically, the hero in the story acts like a bastard because he enjoys being a bastard in the eyes of other people other than those that know him well. This is the key source of all comedy bits in the show, princes being idiots included. I guess I had fun with it, specifically because of the character's charisma, though. The next anime, surprisingly, is not an isekai, which to some already means that it is the best anime ever produced, isn't it? It's called I'm Quitting Heroing. The next gig is at the Demon Queen's Castle, a 12-episode fantasy anime, and well, there's two layers to its story. First one is that the disgruntled hero, tired of being treated like shit by humanity, says fuck it and goes to the demon side to sort things out. This is actually a fairly common deconstruction trope in Japanese media in its own right. Few people think about it, especially if they only watch anime that adapts shit with, 4 to 8 years worth of a time gap between an adaptation and the original novel? Seriously, think about it right now. Do you honestly think that the world is the same as it was 6 years ago? If you think it is, then boy, that rock you live under must be extra comfy. I'm jealous. And so it's actually unsurprising that people have started to toy around with cliches of a hero, demon lord, etc. far more often. Second layer to this story is spoilers, so to make it as intriguing to you as possible, the hero has gotten tired and decided to end it all. And I liked it. Sure, the story itself isn't that much to write home about, because the construction of a cliche isn't itself a cliche. You're just replacing one tried formula with another while keeping the unimportant bits and food coloring, but I, for one, don't really think it's that bad of a thing. The end result is what's important, and though the characters of both the hero and the demon army queen in generals aren't unique to say, they bounce off each other pretty well. This makes watching the story that much more enjoyable, and the ending that much more meaningful. So yes, I recommend you all to at least give both of these shows a chance. That's not to say I didn't have my issues with them, the biggest ones being the usual duetto of mediocre graphics, and in case of the quitting hero, the weird choice of music that initially seems to be out of place and later on spoils the whole show's premise in its entirety, but I've come to expect about this much with the ongoing economic crisis and whatnot. A perfectly functional presentation and a heartfelt dedication to the job at hand. Who knew that my anime expectations are identical to what I expect from a blowjob?